The game earlier in the day on Saturday was Texas Tech and BYU, a rematch of one that we saw earlier in the season. It was a game that felt an awfully lot like the first one.
Yeah.
Final was 34-7 Texas Tech over BYU. BYU came out a little bit more aggressive this time around. They started out this game on fire, a 14-play, 90-yard drive. They milked almost 7 minutes off the clock. They ended it with an LJ Martin touchdown. It was actually the first time a team scored on its opening drive all year against Texas Tech. So I'm watching this. I'm thinking, oh, man, Kalani Sitake's staying. The boys are fired up. This is going to be a different thing altogether. But the deeper we got into it, the more and more it started to feel like momentum was just slowly building for Texas Tech.
Well, it was also like inflamed tissue slowly building in Bear Bachmeier's ankle. He couldn't move.
But at first,
I felt horrible. Like it just, the guy has been the heartbeat of this offense with his ability to improvise as a freshman, his ability to run, the ability.
You're talking about Bear Bachmeier, not Baron Morton. Yeah,
is that what I said? Who did I say?
You said Baron Morton.
Excuse me, Bear Bachmeier. So it's a double Bear situation, like I mentioned earlier on in the season. Bear Bachmeier, and he screws up his ankle, and it's horrible. And he has been the ultimate playmaker for BYU this season. And as soon as he went down, he was unable to plant. He's unable to really put anything behind his throws. He's all sort of arming short throws. And I said to you, and what was it at halftime? 13-7?
Yeah.
When it was like very clear that they weren't going to be able to do anything offensively through the air. I said, I don't know what the live line is, but Texas Tech's about to win this game by 27, 28 points. And they did. And this is not to take away a single thing from Ben Roberts, who just had magnets in his glove for wherever the ball was going to be.
Who also got hurt before he picked the ball off twice and almost a third.
Yeah.
Was the MVP of this game. Yeah.
Look, the best thing in this game, and it wasn't particularly close, was the Texas Tech defense. They hounded BYU. BYU needed its A-plus game. They needed to be 183% of what they were in that first matchup. And they weren't. And that's okay, because Texas Tech's an incredible team. But once he, hurt his ankle pretty early on, it was pretty evident that Texas Tech was going to be able to change the complexion of this game pretty dramatically. They did so on defense, setting up short fields and to turnovers. And then things just opened up on offense for Texas Tech. An incredible year for the Red Raiders. They're going to be a top 4 seed. They're going to get a bye, and they acquitted themselves beyond what I'm sure even the most optimistic Texas Tech fan, in September could have ever imagined throughout this year. So congratulations.
And honestly, if you're a BYU fan, despite the fact that, at least from my vantage point, Texas Tech was slowly building that momentum, Texas Tech still had a hell of a time trying to get in the end zone.
That's true.
I mean, the BYU defense was, again, very good in the red zone. On the day, they forced 6 field goal attempts. And as you said, it was just 13-7 at halftime. Now, this one picked up steam in the second half. BYU had 4 second-half turnovers. That gave Tech short fields. I know BYU has played from and won from behind a couple times so far this season, but it's just like the deeper we got into this one, I kept being left with the feeling that yes, but maybe not against Texas Tech.
Right.
Like, you need to show something other than what they showed for the vast majority of this game. As Bear Bachmeier, who was hurt, and that sucks, tried to stretch the field a little bit, tried to throw a little bit more downfield. They graduated to a point in this game where they couldn't settle for the dump offs, and they couldn't just run Bear Bachmeier because he was hurt. And LJ Martin wasn't doing enough on the ground to, give them a steady diet of the ground attack. When they actually had to try and stretch this field, it just wasn't there.
Right.
And that was when this one started to come apart. I'm still not sure I'm enamored with the Texas Tech offense.
Yeah, I think it's good. I don't think it's amazing.
I feel like if you are a team like, let's say, Oregon, who in all likelihood will come away from this being the number 5 seed.
Right.
If you win your opening round game against, well, we'll talk about that in a second. But if you win that game in Eugene, next team up would be Texas Tech on a neutral site.
Mm-hmm.
I would really like that matchup if I were an Oregon fan.
I mean, I think the game might be in Jerry World again.
I
I
know,
think.
but I would
Yeah.
really like that matchup for Oregon.
Okay.
Given what I saw from the Texas Tech offense, which, by the way, like Barrett Morton's solid. Barrett Morton's a veteran presence. I thought Barrett Morton was fine. Their ground game is sneaky good. People don't realize how good their backs are. Even after losing Quentin Cooley in the beginning of the year, the transfer, right? They're good. They're really good rushing the football. I am not fully enamored with this offense, but the defense is
Quentin
very
Joyner.
solid.
Quentin
Joyner.
Yes.
It's
From
late.
USC. Very good.
It's very late.
Okay. You're good. Yeah, I don't know how much time we want to spend on a Texas Tech Oregon preview, but it should be a hell of a game if it comes to fruition. I hope we get a bunch of great games come like the New Year's and New Year's Eve time. The other thing, by the way, with BYU is they went 11-1 before this game.
Hey,
they're going to finish 11-2. If this were a straight 12-team ranked playoff, regardless of conference,
they're probably in.
I think you're probably including them.
You're probably in. And say what you want about whether Kalani Sitake may or may not have been a fit at Penn State.
Yeah.
Right? But this dude put together an 11-2 season with a true freshman quarterback who they didn't think was going to be the quarterback. It was a scramble drill to figure out who was going to lead the offense. There is no question in my mind that this dude deserved every freaking penny of that raise that he got.
Yep.
He is a hell of a football coach. And if there's going to be a new influx of cash for him, for NIL, for the assistant pool, all of that stuff, if you are a BYU fan, I do not think you are getting in the playoff, but I do think this could just be the tip of the iceberg because he got a really good coach. I think he got a really good quarterback. And if, in fact, they're going to pour a ton of resources into this program now, the future is very, very bright.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that for BYU fans. I'm excited to see what kind of matchup Texas Tech draws. And though I wish this game would have been a little bit closer, I came away mighty impressed with the Texas Tech defense. They were really solid in this game. And if they keep playing like that, it doesn't matter what the matchup is. They're going to be a damn hard out in the playoff.
Yep. I think they finished number 1 in points per drive allowed this season against FBS teams in non-garbage time drives. Just a suffocating defense.